Hi everyone. Today is Wednesday, April 22nd, and I just wanted to take a few minutes to introduce today's reading, which is, of course, chapter 4 of the book Wild Ones. So, when we left off on Monday, there was this discussion of the Endangered Species Act. This was a law passed in the 1970s that basically said the United States government and the people of the United States need to protect endangered species. And that law has been used to help protect species like bald eagles and condors and lots of others. But they ran into a problem with the law between 2005 and 2007 when they were trying to use it to protect polar bears, which seems like a noble cause, except for the fact that polar bears are threatened by climate change, which has to do with the entire economy running off and basically promoting the burning of fossil fuels. So it was this weird situation where protecting the species was really something that meant changing the entire country's economy. And the government basically said no. You can't use the Endangered Species Act to do something that drastic. So we left off with that, and then today you'll be reading chapter 4, which is an interesting chapter. It starts with this very strange character named Ladune. You guys will either love or hate Ladune. He's a chain-smoking entrepreneur up there in Churchill, and he's basically illegally running this sort of polar bear showroom where he has people visit in their cars and drive through his lot, and he claims he doesn't feed the bears, but it's pretty obvious that he does. And John goes and visits Ladune and talks to him about his relationship with the bears, and it's very zoo-ish. It again brings up the theme of what is wild and whether or not these bears, which do roam free up there in the Arctic in Churchill, are actually wild. So John visits Ladune, has some interesting happenings there. I'm not going to give it away. But then at the end of the chapter, his wife and daughter visit. John's wife, Wandi, and his daughter, Isla, visit. And they don't go to Ladune's place, thank goodness, but they go on a tour in one of the buggies again. They look at polar bears, and of course his young daughter is only a few years old, and she finds the whole thing fascinating. And that's sort of where the chapter ends. So I just wanted to sort of outline that for you and also bring up a theme to look out for as you're reading today. Be thinking about the idea of, or the question of, whether it's really about the bears. Is it all about the bears? It was supposed to be, this protected species that people were donating to save and going to visit, and yet you hear about people like Ladune trying to make money, and people selling buggy tours, and people writing children's book about polar bears and selling merchandise. So as you're reading about all that, the happenings in Churchill, be thinking about that question. Is this really about the bears, or is it about something else? Have fun reading. I'll talk to you soon.